The one that the one that happened yesterday. I mean, we watched the video coming out from Nigeria when this rally goes out. The question a lot of people that are concerned before is, is there going to be a war? And it's always been, there's not going to be a war as long as, the numbers of the people that is going to be part of the movement, continue to increase. And that is part of the awareness creation. On Wednesday in Akure, they had, the engagement with the pastors, in Nigeria, the Yoruba pastor, explaining to them some of the reason why, the Yoruba should stand on their own as against being part of Nigeria. I mean, it is the right to self-determination. But the momentum continue, as also, the politicians that are still pushing the agenda of let's take the Yoruba into 2023, as against those that are saying that, we've been part of Nigeria for 62 years. It is not working for anyone. We can have our own smaller country rather than being told that we are bigger an asset when it comes to the population where Nigeria remains, the poverty capital of the world. Number 6 when it comes to global terrorism index. 20 million Nigerian children are out of school with adults, and yet the 64 trillion debt on Nigerians today will take 40 years to be repaid. And that would take somebody like me to about almost 83 years old or 84, when that debt will be completed. Countries have broken up peacefully without any problem. Slovakia was breaking off, in a velvet divorce. We saw that. The dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 took place with 15 countries coming out of it. And one of those countries is Ukraine, that is now giving edict to Russia as of today. So when the Yoruba break away from Nigeria does not mean that we will have problem with the other ethnic groups. Yeah. But the question again has always been, what do you do with the minority? And the question is, where was the minority before the British changed the whole dynamic?
Good. Olami, before we go this to all the Nigerians and even the leaders, my position when it comes to the Yoruba movement. I've always said I do not want people to lead that promising us to get promised land and get and realize that they have actually painted that promised land just they just painted as leaders over the practice exactly what was happening in Egypt. We no wonder. And therefore, I always demand that our leaders should be putting blueprints on it now. And that's exactly what was happening to the big swing poll that we were talking about. I've got to a point where now, when politicians, especially African politicians, are speaking, I want to demand how, when, where, some of those critical questions. So if you say you're going to transform Nigeria, how you bring? What have you done to bring the freedom? I think we need to continue to ask those questions to one another. That's the only way we're going to get a source that will. Olami,
well, I'll be back again on Monday for more news headline, but stay tuned with Frank for the rest of the program. This is Star Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. For the weekend moves, music, prayer, and all the activities, stay tuned with Star Radio UK. And I'll leave you in the hands of Frank for now.
Thank you very much. Listeners, that's